So the 2025 WNBA draft is the Paige Bueckers draft. But I don't think it should be. I think this should be the Dominique Malonga draft. Because if you don't know anything about Dominique Malonga, she is one of the best prospects ever. This is ever in the WNBA. So she first went viral for this clip 2 years ago. At 16 years old, this is what Dominique Malonga was doing. With ease. With ease, yamming it. And if you don't know, Paige Bueckers, you can see on screen right here. Birth date, 20th of October, 2001. So Paige is going to be, by the end of her rookie year, she's going to be 25 years old. Dominique Malonga is 4 years. November 16th, 2005. And because of the international player drafting rules, she is eligible to be drafted. She is 4 years younger than Paige Bueckers. And I'm sorry, Dominique Malonga is a 6'6" freak athlete who can play. Like, she can cut. She's got hands. Like, if you're looking at just the way she can get it, she's sealing in the post. This is against Finland. One leg Dirk fade. And again, this is a 6'6", 18-year-old. This is a 6'6", 18-year-old. Is she 8? Yeah, she's 18. She's 18. She's going to be 19 drafted. Paige Bueckers is going to be 23 when she's drafted. She's going to be 19. Paige Bueckers will turn 24 before she turns 20. And then if you want to say, oh, like, can she run? Look at this. Just look at this. She's pushing the floor at 6'6", by the way. With some hands and one. With a bit of touch. She's there, sets the screen, goes in, crossover, one leg pull-up floater, bang. She's 4 years younger than Paige Bueckers. Like to say, oh, is she ready yet? I don't understand any scenario where Dominique Malonga is not, at worst, the number 3 pick in the draft. Because, like, again, Paige Bueckers is older than Aaliyah Boston. As great as Paige Bueckers is, like, Paige Bueckers is going, by the way, Paige Bueckers is going to come in as a top 25 player in the WNBA. But for me, it's just, when we're talking about potential, I'm just like, it's so hard. It's so hard to look at Dominique Malonga and think she's not going to be absolutely generational. Like, she's 3 years younger than Kiki Iriafen. She's the age of, it's the equivalent of coming into the WNBA of your freshman year in college. And obviously, with the way the international rules are, you can't do that. But if you don't know what the way the international rules are, so there are players that have taken huge advantage of that, like Fibic. Fibic was drafted 4 years ago. She's not, I don't think she's the oldest rookie. Like, Lou Lopez-Seneschal was drafted in 2023. Lou Lopez-Seneschal is 2 years older than Fibic. Ezi Magbagor. Like, Ezi Magbagor is 24 years old. She's 24. This is what year was she drafted? She was drafted in 2019, I think. I think she was drafted in 2019. She was drafted in 2019. So she's 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. She is 24 years old and is playing her 6th year in the WNBA. Lou Lopez-Seneschal was drafted in 2023. Missed one season to her rookie year. And she's playing her first year. Like, Cardoso is what? 2 years? A year and a half older? Like, Cardoso is a year and a half older than Ezi Magbagor. And is a rookie. Everyone talking about the potential of Cardoso, which is true. She's a year and a half older than a 6-year vet in Ezi Magbagor. So if I'm like one of these WNBA teams, if you get some sort of a confirmation, like, obviously there are some rules that are, I think they're gonna get rid of the rules that are almost preventing players to come over. Like Gabby Williams has struggled, especially when it comes to French players, with the fact that their league can sometimes go on into June. I think they're going to have to, the WNBA are going to have to do something about allowing these players to come back at the end of those seasons, because you can't lose out on talent like this. And then you're also looking about a player that has been drafted years ago. Like, if you don't know, like, Tijan Salone is a WNBA draftee. Like, Salone was drafted this year as a young player. His sister was drafted in, I think, 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Like, his sister was drafted in the WNBA draft in 2021, I think. But I watched her play against the Irish team. She hooped. She absolutely hooped. To be fair, so did Lacan. But she is a good WNBA level rotation player. And she's only 21. Sorry, no, what am I talking about? She's 22. She's 22. But again, she's younger than Cardoso. So she's going to come in next year, effectively a rookie. She's a couple of months older than Paige. And she can come, if you get her in next year, 3-4 years after her being drafted, and she's still the same age as these rookies. So I think if you can get a guarantee that Dominique Malonga is coming over, I would consider her number one. Like, I know Paige Beckers is going to bring the eyes. She's going to bring the eyes in. But I would at least, so I wouldn't pass up on her. I would at least consider taking Malonga. She's a unicorn. Like, if we're going to talk about a player in the next year's draft that could end up being the best ever, it's Malonga and it's not Paige. But an ideal scenario is, like, I've seen mock drafts where Malonga has gone in the second round. If Dominique Malonga falls to Indiana, oh my God, she is going to be Temi Fagbenle, a way better version of Temi Fagbenle on a rookie deal. She is going to be a more athletic, taller Temi Fagbenle who has touch and could grow into one of the best fours in the league if she develops a jump shot. Beside Leah Boston and Caitlin Clark. She could be this an absolute defensive machine. And again, to say like, oh, she's not at that level. She's playing in the Olympics. She's going to play 15 minutes a game for a good French team. So, like, she's that level of player. And it's not only that, it's just she has an ability that a lot of people don't. Like, she's averaging 20 and 10 in European championships at her own age. And she's just too big, too strong, too fast. It does, like, obviously you are probably hoping that she develops some sort of a three ball. But that's the thing, she's young. She's young, she's got good touch, she could do that. And if Malonga develops a three ball, again, you're just looking at a joke of a player. Like, she has played in, it says 2024 Olympic Games, so I'm guessing these are pre-Olympic qualifiers. She's playing about 18 minutes a game and averaging 10 a game. And playing against good teams. Like, they're well, to be fair, China are a decent enough team, but China have struggled a little bit. But she still came on in a game where France beat China by 32, I think. As a center coming off the bench. But that China team have got Li Yuru. She's coming up against WNBA level centers and going toe-to-toe with them. Heck, she started against China. She's 18. She started against China. Who, again, China have players. China have WNBA level players. And at 18, as a freshman in college equivalent, she is going out there and hooping against them. Look, I still think, as Caitlin Clark, that is not Paige Beckers. I still think Paige Beckers goes number one. But Dominique Malonga is as much of a unicorn as a Victor Wembanyama in the men's. And if there is a player in next year's draft, look, you know what you're getting with Paige Beckers. Paige Beckers is going to walk in as a top 20 player in the WNBA. I have no question about that. I've absolutely no question about that. So taking Paige Beckers number one is fine. But for me, if you're thinking between number 2, Dominique Malonga or Kiki Iriafen, you're taking a player that is not that much worse than Kiki, but 3 years younger. The only question is whether or not Dominique Malonga is going to be willing to come over and what the story is with the French league and stuff. But if she wants to be a WNBA player, especially with the way contracts are going in the WNBA, these players are going to be more likely to play in the W than play overseas, because obviously she probably will be making more money overseas in the rookie deals. But especially with the new CBA, it's going to be coming in after a rookie year. Maybe she takes a year to come over. But Malonga, of anyone in this draft, if anyone has a potential to be the greatest ever, or one of the greats, or an all WNBA perennial first team member, especially with the way the game is going, being an athletic, rim running big with touch from the outside, who can run the floor with teams that want to play with pace, which I think the first team to fully embrace playing with pace is going to win for a little bit until other teams figure it out. Then Dominique Malonga, look, if you don't draft Paige Beckers and Malonga ends up being a bust, you get fired. So take Paige. But if Malonga falls past pick 4, like, I'm seeing people say Anissa Morrow going above her. I've seen Malonga, again, mocked at like 7 or 8. I've seen Malonga mocked at 8 to the Liberty. If the New York Liberty can get her, and for her first year, have Jonquel Jones starting and Malonga coming off the bench as she gets older, and then you've got a 21-year-old second year Dominique Malonga, top 5 center in the WNBA, running up and down, it's game over. Just give the Liberty 10 rings in a row.